Welcome to Throw Off the Lines, the podcast where we navigate life's changes, explore new horizons, and embrace the journey. I'm your host, Stephanie York, an executive coach with a passion for charting new courses on the water and in life. Ready for some total change? Let's dive in. Welcome to Throw Off the Lines. My name is Stephanie York, and today I wanted to dive deep into a topic that's very near and dear to me professionally, and it's about an executive coach, whether a coach is a fit for you or not. And I know my podcast has been primarily about the journey I'm taking and the things I'm discovering and the things that I'm talking about and studying, and you know, I'm such a nerd about psychology and overcoming trauma and difficulties in our lives. And today I wanted to address something that I get asked a lot. I'm an executive coach professionally, and I have been coaching since 2006. I've had my own company since 2008, and I've been so fortunate to be a part of people's successes and changes, and it's amazing. I love what I do. But I get asked often, how do you find a good coach? How do you figure out whether a coach is going to be worth the money? And what should you expect from a coach? And this is primarily an executive coach kind of measurement. I want to talk about if you're going to hire somebody for your business, they shouldn't only be coaching you professionally, and they shouldn't be just selling you a system, because you can buy a system and do it on your own. An executive coach, a true executive coach, one that's going to fit you and be worth the money, is somebody who's not only going to coach you professionally, but is also going to look at you as a whole person and coach the person as well as the professional. So I wanted to really talk about, let's taking a deep dive into the personal and professional growth and uncovering the best strategies to help you level up your life and career. And whether you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or someone feeling stuck and looking for guidance, this episode will give you the tools to find the right person to guide you to that success. And some people who are looking for career changes don't know that you could hire an executive coach for a month, and they can help you with a resume. They can help you with writing emails. They could help you with texting and follow-up and how to do interviews. You could spend your time with them preparing yourself for that next career move. An executive coach should be able to help you no matter where you are at in your business and personal life as well. Life coaches are frequently helping you with lifestyle changes. Some life coaches do help with business stuff, but an executive coach is tied to your career, and they are frequently, people ask me how they measure success, and I am tied to people's money as well. They need to be making more money. They need to be making forward progress in their business. So because I get asked all the time, how do you know you have the right coach? It's a great question. The answer isn't as simple as signing up for the first coaching program you see or talking to 2 or 3 coaches. You need to look at a good coach that listens, understands your needs, and provides a clear roadmap for progress based on you. You're not just somebody they're shoving into a system. And it pains me to see good people who are desperate to save their livelihood and they're struggling to get on a solid footing. They reach out to a company and spend a lot of money, because there are a lot of very expensive coaching programs out there. And they spend a lot of time trying to turn things around, and that company or that coach doesn't help them. Your coach should hear you and spend time helping you figure out what works for you, how to get you to not only a happier place professionally, but also personally. And they should understand the phase of your career, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and what specifically is holding you back. And this can often be a very minute thing that is keeping you from doing what you need to do, but a good coach should be able to find out what that thing is. They should help refer you to business support and resources that help you become more efficient and more successful and balanced. So you're not working more hours by hiring a coach, but you're doing more with the hours you are working. Most of my clients that sign up with me work less hours, have way more balance, and they're more efficient with the time that they're putting in. When you first connect with a coach or a coaching company, they should offer you a free discovery call. And this is your chance to see if they truly hear you. And on that call, a great coach will assess where you are and pinpoint key areas for improvement and give you actionable steps to take right away. What you don't want is a coach or a company that only pushes their system without considering your specific needs. If their pitch is focused on testimonials and kind of semi-generic success stories rather than personalizing their approach to you, it should be a red flag. If they do not offer help on that call, that first call, but say you will be very successful with their system, then they're not hearing you and they're not coaching you, they are selling you a program. And that's a big red flag. So you should listen to the coach listening to you, which is sometimes hard because you really, really need help. So let's break down what you look for in a coaching call. What should a discovery call with a coach actually look like? And I think this is the key thing. There's 4 things. These are all going to be down in the show notes. They ask you about you as a whole person. A real coach can't know how to coach you unless they know more about you as a person as well as your business. So a great coach won't just focus on your business. They'll ask about your balance, your long-term vision, and the challenges you face across your life. A good coach can ask you about your business and ask what you're struggling with and then assess that, and that's good. But a great coach is going to ask you about you and how your problems with your business and things that you've accomplished or not accomplished or you struggle with as a person, how that impacts where you're at with your business right now. That's a great coach. They will also, number 2, assess quickly and effectively. A great coach, somebody who has years of experience working with individuals and helping individuals succeed, can quickly identify what's holding you back and how to move forward. They use their knowledge and their experience to craft a plan that fits you, not a cookie cutter approach. Not, oh, I had somebody just like you and this is going to help you. They repeat back to you what's going on. They acknowledge the struggles that you have. They are taking notes about what you're saying. They know who you are, and that's a great coach. Also, they provide immediate value. Even on a free call, they should offer insights and strategies you can start using right away. If they're holding back and only promising results once you pay, that's a concern. Now, I'm not saying a coach should offer you everything and that they should just say, I'm going to coach you for free on this call. But a good coach, a great coach will say, it doesn't cost me to add value on this free call because I'm not desperate to get clients. I love what I do. My passion is helping and supporting people. And a great coach is going to add value right on that call. And another huge red flag, which I get back from my clients who hire me, they say, that their coach, their past coach, felt more like a buddy, felt more like a friend. And they are not your friend. Your coach should never be your friend. You should build a personal relationship with a coach over time. And I do consider many of my past clients dear friends. And if I was driving through their city, I would stay a night at their house. We would go do stuff together. But that's because over time, we've created a relationship together. But a coach, when you're first working with them, is not your friend. They should be your guide. A good coach isn't there to be your buddy. They'll push you, challenge you, and hold you accountable, but they will never belittle or threaten you. So a lot of people will come back to me and say, I had a coach, but we only got a half-hour call. And the first 15 minutes was hearing about that coach's weekend and catching up about their kids. And then there was only 15 minutes. And I came away with, I needed scripts for this situation I had, but they just pointed me to the website where the scripts were. And that's not coaching. And that is definitely not worth the money that you're paying if you're paying some of the substantial fees coaching companies are charging. So now let's talk about the warning signs of a bad coach or a bad coaching program. If they don't take the time to understand you, they're not the right fit. A coach, even just a good coach, should get to know who you are because they cannot help you unless they know many things about you. because they can, yes, push you into this coaching company. But basically, if you're being pushed into a system and they're belittling you or threatening you that you are not using that system correctly, they're not coaching you. They're salespeople and they're customer support. A coach needs to hear your problems, your struggles, and then help you counter or overcome the things that are internally holding you back. Another big red flag is if they're trying to upsell you without providing real value first. Walk away, run, cancel. It's going to probably cost you money because there'll be, okay, you paid for this month, you don't get that money back, but next month you don't pay again. If they are saying, oh, you're not getting it, you need to buy this next program, do not buy that next program. They need to help you utilize what they've already assigned you. And if they're not providing value and coaching you on how to implement that system, they're not coaching you. Also, another red flag is if the person selling you coaching isn't the one coaching you, be cautious. You need to demand that you speak to the person who's going to coach you. Do not let somebody sell you a coaching program if they are not the coach. They are a salesperson, and their job is to sell you on the benefits of being coached, but you're not getting an experience with a coach. And the easiest people to sell are salespeople, so be really careful that you don't buy into the hype and the we'll call it manipulation of that sales process by that salesperson. Demand that you get to speak to the actual person who's going to coach you, and then you can assess them using these same tools. Another big red flag is if they rely on fear, guilt, or pressure tactics to get you to commit. That's a huge problem. If I talk to somebody and we do a free call and I give them a set of action plans and they are not ready to sign up, I say, great, go chew on that for a minute. Because when you sign up with coaching with a great coach or a good coach, it is like going to the gym and getting a personal trainer. It is going to take effort. It is going to take focus. It is going to be hard, and it should be. You're investing in your business and you're investing in yourself. And these changes would be easy and free if they were easy for other people, but you're paying for change, and change isn't easy. So when I do a big action item and I assess somebody and I hit really close to home with what's holding them back, it's often very personal. They have to go and process that information. I never pressure somebody to sign up for my coaching. And if they don't want to coach with me, I say, fine, come back and talk to me again. I care about the people I coach. I'm invested. You're a part of my family when I'm coaching you. And if a coach isn't bringing that same commitment to you, you should not sign up with them, and go and start to assess other coaching companies. Get 3 or 4 that you assess at the same time. So I like to talk to people about what the cost of bad coaching is, not doing this work. And people will often just sign up with the first company because it sounds like it's going to solve their problems, and they don't want to spend the time to do their due diligence. But this is very expensive. Coaching can be $10,000 for 3 months. Coaching is frequently, it's $1,000 a month. It's a commitment to your business. But bad coaching is going to not only set you back that $1,000, it's going to set you back 3 to 6 months of your time. And in today's society, we do not have that time. And a lot of the people that sign up for coaching with me, they're already so far down a rabbit hole. They are depressed. They are sometimes without hope. And they don't have another month to feel that way. And, I've got clients who come to work with me after they've worked with other coaching companies that did more harm than good. And I had one client who was charged double what I charged, and all they got were 2 short calls a month where they were berated for not meeting unrealistic expectations. You need to make 50 calls a day, and we don't care, and you got to have 5 lunches a week. And there was no backing it up. There was no assessing why that client was struggling with it. They were given scripts to follow with no consideration for their personal strengths or their style or their experience. And they were forced to speak words that were uncomfortable for them. And they were threatened with statements like, I'm going to have to tell the head coach to give you a call now. You didn't do your work. That's not coaching. That's just threats. It's aggressive ways to force you to change instead of understanding you as a person and working with your strengths and your weaknesses and specific needs. And I'm sorry, but in today's society, that is the old management style. It frustrates me that people are trusting somebody with their money and their time and their future, and they're desperate so frequently, and they end up in this situation. And it makes me really sad. So a great coach understands your journey, your struggles, what's really holding you back. They help you create a sustainable plan that works for your life and business, not just a system that worked for someone else or a cookie cutter. So some of the success stories and real coaching impacts, let me just share a few highlights of what my coaching clients have been able to do. One of my clients hadn't taken a vacation with his kids in 5 years. In fact, when I met him, I was running a sales training based on habits and dopamine and what you do throughout your day and how your day is controlled by your habits. And he pulled me aside after, and we had a call, and we actually a face-to-face meeting. And he was gray. He just was drinking eight cups of coffee a day. He was running off of pieces of paper. He had systems. He didn't have time to put information into the systems. He had 2 young daughters. He hadn't taken a vacation in 5 years. He was overworked and overwhelmed, and he had no time to enjoy his life, let alone feel like he caught up. He would go to bed every night in a panic. He would wake up every morning, jolt his body alive with coffee, and just scramble. And so what we did was assess what he was doing, streamline his process, get him organized so all of his information was in one place instead of 15 scraps of paper and files on the floor, and cut back his coffee intake. I know this is just what was specific for him. And we started to bring him down to 3 cups of coffee. I know he's now on 1 cup of coffee in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. We've got him eating healthier. He's exercising. He's working 20 hours less a week. And he took 2 vacations this last year. He's healthier and happier. He's outsourced his business. He's implemented focusing on daily tasks, and he is no longer, he's got color back. He started dating because he's been single for a while. And yeah, we still struggle with, going back to some of the behaviors, and we reassess. We have, right now I'm talking to him several times a week, and his life has changed for the better, for good. And even if we stop coaching now, and that's another big key, if you stop coaching now, have you changed? My coaching is transformational. I want you to learn how to write scripts for yourself. I want you to learn how to go into situations and counter anxiety or stress. And he could go on now, from now forward, and these changes are permanent in his life. But we're continuing to grow. He's now hired an assistant. That person taken on half of his job. He's now grown his business. He's got $5 million in the pipeline for this month. And it's just so good to see. I feel so happy that he's doing so well. So another client of mine was struggling with making calls and managing his database. And we broke down his tasks into manageable steps and focused on improving his habits. And now his business is thriving and he feels in control again. We try to look at 5 avenues of revenue for my people, each of my people being different. And we take those 5 avenues of revenue, and every day, Monday through Friday, we break off time first thing in the morning, and we take action with those avenues so that if you get really busy, and coming into the summer months, we're going to be really busy with production ticking up. Inventory levels are opening up again. It seems like it's going to be a really great year. There's some creative financing out there for the mortgage people. My real estate agents, a lot of people have left the industry. I have a couple of executives that are in startups, and what we're looking at is, everything seems to pick up when the winter months slow down, but we're reassessing how they're spreading out their time and then how they're managing their personal life. I want all my people to be eating healthy, sleeping well. We're doing dopamine detoxes. I'm doing one myself right now because my focus is terrible. Your coach should be helping you live a better life. Years ago, one of my best students, who I'm still in coaching again, we just picked back up for the 3rd time, he said he didn't know how to become more successful because in his mind he felt like he couldn't ever be a top producer, and he just set his doubts aside, and we just set up a plan, and we hit his goals, and he's gone on to do $200 million a year in mortgages. and is widely recognized as a top producer. And what he did is he changed his character, and the only way he could have done that is putting in the hard work. So your coach should push you. It should be uncomfortable. You should see change. You should go to bed at night feeling like you did good work, not having doubt. And if you have doubt, your coach should help you address that. That's what coaching should do. It should transform not just your work, but your entire life. So how do you find the right coach for you? There's 5 things that I say. Schedule a discovery call. Reach out to a coach or a coaching company and ask for a discovery call. A discovery call should be where they listen and respond to you. They get to know you. They ask questions about you. You're able to relay what you feel your struggle is. And then they should be able, on that discovery call, to open up and discover more than maybe even you thought you were struggling with. And it shouldn't just be professional. You should be open to that coach asking questions about your personal schedule. How do you feel about your success? How are you feeling about the phase of life that you're in? Because somebody in their 20s is going to be coached very differently than somebody in their 50s. You have very different life cycle goals, very different work phases. And I mean, a lot of the stuff is the same, but they should be approaching it very differently. And ask the right questions. How will they help you? Ask that question. How are you as my coach going to help me? What specific steps will they have you take? And listen, because if it sounds like they're going over a script, then it's a cookie cutter coaching. And that's okay, because I have probably a little bit of a script. If I don't know you and you come right out of the gate, how are you going to help me? How can I have people ask me this a lot. How can I tell you're going to help me and I'm going to be successful? And I say flat out, I have no guarantee you're going to get out of bed in the morning and get out of your pajamas and show up. And when we are not on a call, I can't prove that you're going to do the work. It's going to show up when we have our next call and you haven't done the action items we mutually agreed that you're going to do. And then I'm going to be able to assess whether you've done it or not. And that's where you really meet yourself. That's what a good coach would do. But I can say that if you and I meet regularly and you commit to doing the things that we agree on, and then we assess what happened when you did those things, I guarantee you will improve. I guarantee you will find success. I guarantee you will get balance. You will be happier. You will have more business. If you show up and you do the work, I guarantee it'll happen. And then you need to trust your gut. There's a great book called Blink. There's a lot of intuition involved. But sometimes when we're so scared and we're put back on our heels and I've talked to people who are so downright depressed and at the end of their rope and they've tied a knot and they're talking to me from the very bottom. It's hard to trust your gut when you're desperate, and it's really hard to set aside feeling so frantic. But I want you to, when you're putting all of your money and your future hope into this, listen to your gut. Do you feel heard? Do you feel understood? Do you feel motivated by that first conversation? Do you feel hopeful? Now, I want you to step back and say, do I feel hopeful because they're offering me a system? Because you should absolutely have some form of efficiency, and there should be some kind of systematized coaching involved. You should have to provide them with information. You should be given things that are going to help you get organized. There should be structure. So do you feel inspired and motivated by the structure that you've been promised on that discovery call? That is very important. But do you feel like this person hears you enough that they are going to be engaged in your success? Because if you do not, get more coaching discovery calls. Reach out and get more one-on-one calls. And make sure that that person you talk to is the person who's going to coach you. And then look for a whole person approach, because the best coaches consider your business, personal life, strengths, and weaknesses. I will often have my people outsource weaknesses unless they have to do those things themselves. Like, you've got to make calls and talk to people. Now, do you need to call every single day 50 people until you have 10 face-to-face or live calls? No. No, you don't have to. But if you're going to have to talk to people and that's a weakness of yours, you're going to have to work on that. But predominantly, you're going to want to know what your strengths are and then outsource. If you're not good at detail and you're not good at contracts and you're not good at time management and you can outsource that to somebody else that can handle it for you, great. It's going to depend on your income. It's going to depend on your team. And a good coach will ask about every member on your team, what their personalities are, going to ask for job descriptions, going to want to know what the flow is, going to want to know what your relationship with them is, and want to know when you meet with them and what you're able to push that person for. So that's, but they're also going to want to know, how are you eating? What is your caffeine intake? Because that's one of my first questions. Where's your balance? When do you quit working? What do your weekends look like? What are you doing for vacations? How is your home life? What are you doing for personal development? And how healthy are you? And how are you meeting your goals health-wise? And that's the whole person approach. And that is an executive coach. You also want to avoid the hard sell. So, if that coach is pushing a program without listening to you first, that's a huge red flag. And I've covered a lot of that in this, but you want to schedule a discovery call, ask the right questions, write down 5 questions you want to ask that coach, things that are really important to you, and then trust your gut in listening to that coach. Are they hearing you? Are they taking notes about you? Are they calling back something you said earlier in the conversation? Are they tying in what they're going to do for you into what you need and what you said you need? And then listen to your gut and then look for the whole person approach. That coach isn't going to just promise more sales. They should say, we're going to be able to improve these sales, but we also need to handle some of the stress that you have in your life. Once we can lower that stress level, you're going to be able to approach things not from a panic and not from, just a series of anxiety moments. You're going to be able to be more thoughtful and present, and your clients and your referral partners are going to feel that from you. So that's a whole person approach. And then avoid that hard sell. Be really careful if that coach is saying, if you just sign up for our system, you can do it today. And oh, by the way, it's 50% off today. Really, really good coaches don't have sales techniques and they don't have discounts and they aren't trying to pitch you on a product because they don't need to. They're not motivated by that. So just be careful. So that list will be down in the bottom of the show notes. So if you need to check in everywhere I have this podcast posted, you should be able to see the show notes. So, just recognizing that we are in really challenging times, and I'm doing a lot of self-talk with my clients, revisiting what are they putting into their bodies as far as positivity, because so many of the algorithms on social media and the algorithms on our Google search, and if we go on Yahoo or we go onto websites just to see what's going on in the world, what's being pushed to us can be very, very negative. And I'm assessing with all of my clients right now, what are you ingesting daily? Where are you getting the good information? And so your coach should be helping you handle whatever's happening in your environment. And isolation is a huge problem, as well as accountability. My people are not being held accountable by their bosses. In fact, bosses are cutting benefits, they're cutting pay, they're cutting compensation. This always happens in sales, and it's devastating because you're relying on that. And I have some of my people have moved companies because of that. And it's isolating because so many people still work from home, especially in a sales environment. And you're cut off from the people who might be like, come on, let's do this. When you go into an office and you have peers and you have people who are motivating, and they're not getting motivation from their boss. And the reason they sign up with me is because I become their peer. And then we find more peers for them, and we find partners that they can attach to, and we create an environment in their lives and in their business that is motivating for them. And, become your own leader. Our own leaders are struggling with the things we need from them, so they don't have coaching themselves. I focus on transformational leadership. I want my clients to become their own leader and find inspiration and make 2025 a formative year. This is going to be a great year for people who are focused. All of my people are starting to get more business right now because they did the hard work for the last 6 months. So look for a coach who has changed the whole person and their clients and can answer the questions about what they've done for people in the past. Look for someone who hears who you are and someone who cares enough to make a plan that's just for you, all of you, the professional person and the person you want to become. And if you're ready to take the next step in finding the right coach, go to my website, descoaching.com. It stands for Don't Ever Stop Coaching.com, and reach out to me, and I can I can answer your questions. And if I love what I do, and I'm really, really fortunate to have amazing clients. I have free calls. I'll give you stuff on those free calls. But if you have a coach that you're considering and you want to ask me what you think about them, use me as a second opinion. I'm good with that. I know a lot of the coaching companies, especially in the mortgage and real estate world, and there's some really great ones out there. And there are some that I get clients from that they're literally traumatized by what that coach has done to them, and it's terrible. So, reach out to me. I'd love to help you with a one-on-one conversation to point you in the right direction. Coaching is about real change, real accountability, and real growth. So keep in mind, this is a big decision, but it can alter the course of your professional and personal life. It absolutely can. So until next time, take action, get organized, find an accountability partner, and make today as productive as possible. Listen to my other podcasts, which are about the whole person. All of these are tools that I'm having my clients listen to as well. We all need better habits. We all need to focus on non-immediate dopamine rushes, and we all need to have more clear thinking. So all of my podcasts are all about the whole person and help you professionally as well. Take small steps, and those small steps can lead to big changes, but just focus on a plan for yourself. And please feel free to reach out to me anytime through descoaching.com, or go on to throwoffthelines.com and sign up, and you can get my podcast, Throw Off the Lines, anywhere you get podcasts. I also have a YouTube channel. And just thanks for listening, and good luck in your search for a coach. It's a very, very important relationship. And take care. Thank you for joining me on Throw Off the Lines. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe for future episodes and extras, and leave a review. Share it with someone who needs a total inspiration. You can also find us on Facebook or Instagram and our Throw Off the Lines website. If you want to be a guest or have questions for the host, sign up on the website and we'll get back to you. Until next time, throw off those lines and live your best life.